Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our journey in discovering just a little bit more of this amazing language every day. Last time we talked about paratrooper. We use 4 Chinese characters, 空降部队, to express that. And 空降 is about dropping from the sky. And then 部队 is about your troops and your line of people. And today we are going to continue with 将, but the same writing, different pronunciation. Last time it's 将, right? 机一昂将. But this time it's 降. Both the tone and the pronunciation changed. Same writing though, and the meaning changed too. So we have 缴械投降 this time. It also related to kind of like a military maneuver. Actually, it's the last maneuver. It's basically giving up. So since we continue with this character, I will start from this. So last time we talked about how this 降 means basically climbing downward from off the cliff. So this tall structure is the cliff, right? And then this with one longer line toward the back, it means sticking out your back leg. And that's the motion of backward walking. You stick out one leg further. And this is kind of like a flip over the image is the same, like one line stick further away. So both legs are kind of have one each step further down, sticking out further. So that's both legs backward walking. So not only, but in terms of climbing downwards, that's what we do, right? Climbers, I don't exactly know. Climb down, assuming that's the easier way to go down from a steep downhill. So this eventually, like visually, we're showing the motion or the act of climbing down from a steep hill, eventually extended to mean it's down. You don't have to climb down. You can fly down in the parachuting setting. But this time it becomes 降. When we say 降, often it pairs with 投降. And 降 here means another kind of a down. It's a loss, like you eventually 缴械投降, the 4 characters together means surrender. It's like you accept you're losing the battle, so to speak. So 降 basically means hands up. That's the motion for 降. And I'm guessing because it has this falling gesture, that is why it's related to climbing down and fall. And here it means loss. You give up, you surrender. You have this gesture of, okay, I'm going to fall down. Okay, starting from the beginning, 脚. 脚, we have this symbol that kind of 2 oval shapes connected on the string, and with this this structure, that means something drapey. It's a piece of fabric, drapey, and the 2 circular thing, like 2 knots. So the whole structure over there, eventually in simplified Chinese version, we use this to mean fabric, something related to fabric. And here, the right side is easier to understand. We have the 3-finger symbol, that's our hand. And we have this vertical and horizontal structure. That means something you hold in a hand, basically kind of a tool. And then on the left side, we have a circular shape, a box, circular box, and when with a horizontal line, that's our sun symbol, right? And with one kind of a chimney or pointer from the top, that's kind of the ray, the sun ray, the sunlight radiating from the sun. And so that becomes our symbol for white, because the sun ray, I guess, from ancient times, they figure out that this is the closest to the white color. And then this structure is originally meaning the parallel motion of two boats going together and connected somehow at the bow. So eventually that character was used to mean something rectangular. There was a kind of a logic jump over there. So we have white color, rectangular, and hand holding something with thread or fabric involved. This character originally was created to mean installing the thread, kind of a white color thread, onto the bow. So like I'm guessing this rectangular shape is the bow, because the structure of the thread in relationship to the bow. So they're kind of there's a right angle over there, and then you have to use your hand and maybe some tool involved to have the thread pull taut onto the bow. And this is the thread, right? The material used. So eventually this means wrapping. It also involves with thread, but instead of like make it straight, maybe like a wrap. Okay, pretty wordy to explain the first one. The second one is a little bit easier. We have this symbol that's wood. So basically we have a upward facing and downward facing arches connected on a vertical line. That's our wood symbol. I regard the top portion is like a canopy of the tree, and the bottom is something drapey, right? It's same structure as this, but because this is like a long, tall arch, it means like a big distance from the canopy of the tree to the bottom of the ground. So that's our tree structure. And then we have, again, 3-finger hand symbol, and this time left and right, 2 hands involved. And then this kind of a sharp edge thing, it's called it's an ancient weapon. So the hand holding the weapon basically is the right side structure here. You can see it's kind of simplified and replaced, like reordered to spatially place things so that it's easier to be contained in that space and easier to recognize or write, right? So, but the elements are there. 2 hands with weapons hold. That means it's kind of a guarded or something related to armed force presence over there, right? And then we have the wood. So ancient times, people use this symbol to mean the gear to imprison or capture or contain the prisoner at the time. So back then, I guess there's no handcuffs as today, right? It's like a cost-effective freedom confiner, like it keeps somebody in place, right? But in ancient time, in ancient Chinese society, it's a big wood block, heavy wood block used, and have the hole for the neck, holes for the hand, 2 hands, and then you're kind of locked down in that motion. So it's wood, big piece of wood that's involved, and also it's heavily guarded. I don't know how heavy, but definitely it's guarded. So you have a guard to go with this wood structure. So that was used to imply this is a gear, the device used to imprison somebody. So this eventually extended to gear for other purposes that involves kind of a hand, that involves wood, kind of a mechanism involved over there. So we have wrap mechanism or gear. So in this context, this gear actually means the gear, the military gears. So your weaponry. So weaponry got wrapped. I guess in ancient times, like if you show your gesture that you are not going to continue fight anymore, you're going to wrap your weaponry as a gesture to say, I stop, like hands off, that gesture. Okay, then we have toe. Toe also have this hand symbol, 2 hand symbols. Here is the 5-finger hand symbol on the left side, and the right side is the 3-finger hand symbol over there. And then the top there are 2 readings. One is the top is kind of a kneeled human figure side view, right? You can see kind of this is a torso, this is the knee, kind of kneeling down position. So a hand under this nude person image, it could be like kind of in slavery, somebody to do something. Or this top portion could be ancient weaponry as well, the tip of some other ancient weaponry that was used to defend. So it was, according to some scholars, this is long spear and with a long stick or staff. At the end, there are metal things that you can either poke. I don't know the exact terminology for that, but either you can throw it like using spear, right? You throw it off your hands, or you hold it, still like strike. So 头 here actually means the first meaning, the first use of that weaponry is kind of a throw the spear into the air and with a hand gesture, right? So that's something related to your motion. So 头 here is throw, and then 降 here means fall down, right? Originally means fall down, and we can imagine 投降 together is somebody or like your enemy or somebody who were captured in that situation, and then they are going to throw their weaponry or like a rapid the weaponry get surrender as a gesture to surrender, and the further gesture is to throw themselves and fall down to the ground, and that's kind of the most unintimidating way to show that you surrender. You give up your weapon, you also throw yourself onto the ground and fall down in a low position so that you're contained, like easy, like you just get captured basically. So this is kind of a wordy way to say 缴械投降, like give up their weapon, give up resistance, and then that's our surrender, 缴械投降. So that could be used mostly in the military operation description, and it could also mean 缴械投降 means like in competition, like business competition, if somebody lose market share or something like a quicking out of this market, that's also we can use 缴械投降 means okay, I sell out my business, I'm done with here, like I cannot win this one. So we can also use that in a sense. But over here is the third sense of surrender in meditation as well as in yoga. I've been following this yoga teacher, and shout out to her, being spreading free knowledge to online community who are interested in promoting their own health and well-being. And through both yoga, that's kind of motion, breathing, and meditation, that's control your mind, right? Control your body, control your mind. But control is really the beginner step. There are a lot of moments she would give you instructions to surrender, and surrender in the sense of no longer resist, like let the gravity or let the nature of your body, like your inside rhythm to take over, and you just don't do anything and let the nature to settle you into a better shape, so to speak. So that's the kind of surrender that, to my understanding. And even if we cannot say we cannot translate surrender in that meditation context of 缴械投降, because we don't really have a weaponry, but that's the surrender. I guess there was this surrender of like giving up your resistance or giving up control of your body. In that sense of 缴械投降, is like a give up the control of your body. I mean, originally it was the weapon, right? And then you don't fight anymore. So that's one approach in meditation, that in order for you to better control your mind, your body, sometimes you have to surrender. You know how to surrender. And then when time calls for gathering and refocus, rebalance again, then that's the time you get back into motion. A little bit of that. 缴械投降 is today's one word a day All right, cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day. See you another day.